The first that we will try to understand in this chapter is what is a framework. A test automation framework is a hierarchical directory that encapsulates shared resources, such as dynamic shared repository, image files, scripts, drivers, etc., in a single package. Test automation framework provides a standardized way of implementing a test automation project. The main advantage of a test automation framework is the reusability of existing test scripts and low automation project maintenance cost and efforts. Automation framework helps in making change identification and implementation tasks easier. There are various types of frameworks available as of today: modular-driven framework, data-driven framework, keyword-driven framework, hybrid framework. The first one that we will try to understand is modular-driven framework. Modular-driven framework requires creation of small, reusable, and independent scripts that represent a particular function of the application under test. These small scripts are then integrated in a hierarchical fashion to implement a test case. This framework applies the principle of abstraction to improve the maintainability of the automated test cases. Advantages of modular-driven framework are: the framework is easy to learn. The framework does not require major setup and is easy to implement. And the disadvantages are: test input data exists within the scripts. This results in the creation of multiple duplicate scripts in situation where same script needs to be executed with different set of data. Duplication of script requires extra effort, thereby increasing the script development cost. A change in AUT may require same changes to be done in multiple scripts that have been duplicated. With the number of scripts being huge, change identification and implementation becomes costly. The next framework type is data-driven framework. Data-driven framework is a framework where test scripts interact with the data files for the test input data and expected output data. Test data files could be Excel sheets or any other databases. Test scripts are parameterized to receive and update to test data sheets. Advantages of data-driven framework are: parameterization of the test script removes the need of script duplication. Parameterization helps improving the test script maintainability. Disadvantages of data-driven framework are: proficient automation developers are required. Multiple test data files to be maintained for each test case. Keyword-driven framework is a framework where keywords are used to write test scripts stepwise in the form of table. This framework requires the development of data tables and keywords, which are independent of test automation tool used. Test case steps are written in step table for which a separate processor code is designed. In this framework, the entire test case is data-driven, including the test data. Since users cannot use logical loops in Excel sheets, this framework requires a new test script design for any logic change. Advantages of keyword-driven framework are: reduces maintenance cost as test cases are written in the form of tables and not test scripts. After training, even testers can automate test scripts. Disadvantages of keyword-driven framework are: initial cost of framework design is very high and is time-consuming. It is not possible to use logical conditions in step tables. Expert automation developers are required to develop and maintain the scripts. Testers need to learn the keywords and specialized formats before they can start automating. The last framework type is hybrid framework. Hybrid framework is a combination of above frameworks, using their strengths and avoiding their weaknesses. Generally, data-driven framework and keyword-driven framework are combined to develop a hybrid keyword data-driven framework. This framework separates the test input data from step tables. A separate test data file is maintained and is associated with the step tab during runtime. Advantages of hybrid framework: reduces maintenance cost as test cases are written in the form of table and not test scripts. Avoids duplication of test case design, Excel sheets. After training, even testers can automate test cases. And disadvantages: initial cost of framework design is high and is time-consuming. Expert automation developers are required to develop and maintain the scripts. Change identification and modification is time-consuming and costly. Testers need to learn the keywords and specialized formats before they can start automating.